Some years back, I was in a gathering, an adult gathering anyways, and a man was advising couples that were there. He said, if you people have been trying to get a baby to no avail, why not try it when your wife is menstruating? And I was like, what the hell is this man saying? How can someone get pregnant when she's menstruating? You know, afterwards, that statement kept ringing on my mind. I was like, I kept pondering on that statement. How possible is it for someone to get pregnant while menstruating? Years after, I got admission into nursing school. I became a nurse, and I got clarity on what that man was actually saying. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering that question. Is it possible to get pregnant when you are menstruating? Is it possible? So in today's video, you're going to know the answer, if it's possible or not. So grab your chair and let's get started. Hi there, it's your favorite Nurse Annie, and on my channel I talk about nursing and healthcare. So if you are interested in content like this, keep watching. I believe by now we all know how to calculate our menstrual cycle length, because I'm not going to be doing much on that. I have video on that already. So if you don't know how to calculate your menstrual cycle length, go to my channel and watch. It's going to help you know how to calculate your menstrual cycle length, because that's the first thing to know as a woman if you want to get pregnant or if you want to avoid pregnancy. Menstrual cycle length is simply the days in between two periods, and you start counting from the very first day you see your menstrual blood to a day before the next one. So from the very first day you start bleeding to the last day before the next one makes up one menstrual cycle length, and the next day you start bleeding is the beginning of another menstrual cycle length, and the number range falls within 21 to 35 days. Yours can be 28 days on the average. It can be 25, 21 days, 30 days, 35 days, or even in between these ones. And we have the normal days for a woman to bleed, which is between 2 to 7 days. For a woman to bleed. This is for menstrual cycle length. Then we have short menstrual cycle length and we have the long menstrual cycle length. And in today's video, I'm going to be focusing on the short menstrual cycle length. So let's say example, you saw your menses on the 1st of last month, and the next one came on 22nd of last month. 22nd? Okay, 22nd, okay. So all you need to do is to start counting from the very first day as day 1, and you stop a day before you start counting the next cycle. Do you understand? This is the very first day your menses came, right? So this is going to be day 1. And you keep counting till the next one came on 22nd. So you need to stop counting on this particular day. Let's continue. This is day 1. The next day is day 2. Please, if your menses came on Tuesday, this Tuesday is going to be day 1. If it came on the 10th day of last month, this 10th day is going to be day 1 of your menstrual cycle length. So for my own illustration, I'm using the first day as day 1. So your own day 1 can be on the 12th, it can be on the 18th day, depending when you saw your own menses. So the day you saw your menses is going to be your day 1. So let's say my menses came last month on the 1st. So I'm using myself as example now, just to avoid confusion. Let's say my menses came on the first day. This is going to be my day 1. This is going to be my day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, 7, day 8, day 9, day 10, day 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Remember, the next one came on 22nd. So you're going to stop counting here. From here to this point is one menstrual cycle length. Then on this 22nd is the day your menses came again. So this is going to be day 1 of another menstrual cycle length. So this is going to be day 1, this is going to be day 2, day 3, and you continue counting like that. And you stop counting a day before the next one comes. This is how to calculate your menstrual cycle length. Right? Do you understand? Good. Let's not forget, I said earlier that the normal days for a woman to bleed is 2 to 7 days. So, I'm going to draw a box for that. 2 to 7 days. So, we're going to be proceeding into knowing this woman's fertile days. In knowing this woman's fertile days, you subtract 14 from her menstrual cycle length. Remember, her cycle length is 21 days. So you subtract 14 from her menstrual cycle length. And some will be asking, why 14? 14 is the average luteal phase for every woman. So if you have a constant cycle length, that's to say for minimum of 6 months, you calculated your menstrual cycle length and you got a fixed number. You got a particular number for your menstrual cycle length. That means your menstrual cycle length is constant. So in this case, to know your fertile window, to know when you are going to ovulate, you subtract 14 from that, your menstrual cycle length. Yours can be 26 days. All you need to do is to subtract 14 from that 26. If yours is 30 days, subtract 14 from 30. If your cycle length is 35, subtract 14 from that 35. So let's continue. After subtracting 14 from 21, we have 7. So that means on the 7th day of this woman's cycle length is the day she's probably going to ovulate. So this is day 7. This is day 7 of this woman's menstrual cycle length. And this is the day she's likely going to ovulate. So ovulation can come this exact day. It can come a day before. It can come 2 days before. It can come a day after or even 2 days after. So these 5 days, this, and this makes up this woman's ovulation period. Look at it very well. What if she ovulates here on that exact day? Can you see that she's menstruating? Let's say you have a 21 days menstrual cycle length like this woman, and you normally menstruate for 7 days. So on the 7th day that you are ovulating, you are still bleeding. Can you see? Let's even say ovulation did not come this day. Ovulation came a day before this exact day, or even 2 days before this exact day, and you're still bleeding. So that means if you have sex here, or here, or here, you're going to get pregnant. That's the logic. We finished calculating this woman's ovulation period, and she's the type that bleeds for 7 days. Like example, look at it, that's entered when she's bleeding. She's ovulating when she's still bleeding. That means she's menstruating and also fertile at the same time. She's ovulating during her menses. Even if she's a type that bleeds for 6 days or 5 days, her ovulation period is still entering the period she's still menstruating, she's still bleeding. Can you see that it's possible to menstruate and get pregnant at the same time? I wanted to note that a healthy sperm can survive 3 to 5 days in the female system. So I'm going to add this 5 days for the sperm in front of the ovulation period, and I'm going to start counting from this very first day of the ovulation period. This is going to be day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5 for the sperm. So look at it very well. From day 1 that this woman started bleeding is the very first day of her fertile window. Also note that the female egg can survive 12 to 24 hours after being released. So you add 24 hours, you add 1 day at the end of her ovulation period for the egg. So this is for the egg. So all the days and stories here makes up this woman's fertile window. Let's say this woman is a type that doesn't care if she's menstruating or not. She can have sex when she's menstruating and it's not a big deal for her. It doesn't see that big messy. So let's say she had sex on the 3 of her menstrual cycle length while she was still bleeding. Don't forget, maybe she saw her ovulation here. Her ovulation came on the 6th or even the 7 or the 5. Let's count. Don't forget I said the sperm can survive 3 to 5 days, right? So let's count and see if it's possible for this woman to get pregnant. Let's say she saw her ovulation here on the 5. This is the 1 for the sperm. She has sex here. The man deposited sperm into her vagina here. 1, 2, 3. On the 3rd day, from the day she had sex, she ovulated. This sperm that was ejaculated when she had sex is still alive to this point that she ovulated and she's going to get pregnant. Let's even say she ovulated here. Don't forget the sperm can survive. A healthy sperm can survive 3 to 5 days. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you seen that this woman can get pregnant even if she had sex 4 days to her ovulation? So can you see that this woman is menstruating and also ovulating at the same time? So my dear, if your menstrual cycle length is 21 days, don't wait for the middle of your cycle. Don't wait for day 14. Like other women used to say, they're ovulating on day 14 and you want to follow suit thinking you're ovulating on day 14. My dear, if that's your mentality, you're getting it all wrong. Yours is not day 14. You are not menstruating on day 14. If you have a short menstrual cycle length, like 21 days, or 22 days, or 23 days, you are not ovulating on day 14, my dear. Calculate like this, and you're going to see. If your menstrual cycle length is day 21, my dear, you are likely not to ovulate on day 7, or day 6, or day 5, or day 8, or day 9. Not on the 14th day. 14th day is not your day of ovulation. It's for people with 28 days menstrual cycle length. Yours is not 28 days. Yours is 21 days. So you can't wait till the 14th day expecting to have sex that day and get pregnant. So this is your fertile period. These are the days you're expected to have sexual intercourse with your partner if you want a baby. Unfortunately, it falls. Sorry, let me not say unfortunately. Fortunately, it falls when you are menstruating. So you can't say it's messy and you can't have sex there. That's if you don't want a baby. But if you want a baby, if you look for a baby and you have a 21 days menstrual cycle length, my dear, you have to have sex so when you're menstruating, because that's the time you're ovulating. Go and do the needful, my dear. Okay guys, I'm going to do one more example, and I'm going to use a 22 days menstrual cycle as example. Let's say you saw your menstrual blood on the 4th day and the 4th of last month. This is going to be the one, right? And you saw the next one on 26th of that same month. Let's calculate this woman's menstrual cycle length. This is going to be the one. The very first day she starts bleeding is the one, don't forget. Next day is the 2. Next day is the 3. Next day 4. Next day is the 5. Next day the 6. Next day is 7, 8, 9. You continue counting. Continue counting like that. It's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and you saw your menses on 26, so you stop counting on 25. So this makes up this woman's menstrual cycle length, which is 22 days. So let's proceed, into calculating her ovulation period. Remember I said you subtract 14 from her menstrual cycle length, right? She's going to be 22 minus 14, which equals 8, right? So that means on the 8th of this woman's menstrual cycle is the possible day she's going to ovulate. This is the 8th. Can you see it? This is the 8th. The 8th. So this is the day she's likely going to ovulate. This day. And I said that ovulation can come this exact day. It can come a day before or 2 days before. It can come a day after or 2 days after. Thus, the +2 minus 2 to the ovulation we normally talk about. So this makes up this woman's ovulation period. And let's assume this woman bleeds for 7 days. Your guess is as good as mine. This is the 7th day. And she's still bleeding, right? This is the 6th. She's still bleeding. This is the 7th. She's still bleeding. And she's ovulating this period. Okay, so we are done calculating this woman's ovulation period. Let's not forget the sperm factor. I said the sperm can survive. A healthy sperm, please, can survive 3 to 5 days. So you add 5 days in front of the ovulation period, starting from the very first day of this woman's ovulation. So this is going to be the 1 for the sperm. Let me use a black marker for that. This is going to be the 1 for the sperm, the 2 for the sperm, the 3, the 4, and the 5. So from this point, all the way, please let's not forget 1 day for the egg. I said the female egg can survive 12 to 24 hours after being released. So you add 1 day for the egg. So this makes up this woman's fertile window. So let's assume this woman bleeds for 7 days. And she ended up ovulating on the 6th of her menstrual cycle length. Don't forget she's still bleeding. And she ovulates here. So that means if she has sex here, she's going to get pregnant. She's ovulating, she's menstruating. So if she has sex, she's going to get pregnant. So my dear, you see, if you have a short menstrual cycle length, like 21 days or even 22 days, and you flow for, let's say, 7 days, don't wait till you finish menstruating before you have sex if you want a baby. The possibility of you menstruating when you are ovulating is very high. Yes. As you can see from the illustration, what if ovulation did not come this day? What if it came this day and this day she's still bleeding? What if she ovulates here and on the 6th day she's still bleeding? That means if you wait till you're done menstruating, you're going to lose that month. You're not going to get pregnant because your ovulation period has passed. The day your egg was released has passed. So if you're among those people that normally say you can't have sex when you're menstruating and you want a baby, my dear, you have to change that mindset. So if you want a baby, because nature has made you that way. It's not you that created yourself. Nature has made you that way. And at the moment, since you're seeing yourself that way, you have to maximize the opportunity. If you're married, you want a baby, and you have a short menstrual cycle length, and you bleed for, let's say, 7 days, my dear, go and do the needful if you want a baby. So my people, it's possible to menstruate and also get pregnant. I hope this was helpful. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you got value. If you did, kindly give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones. See you next time.